In this chapter, we're going to be talking about scale degrees. So I'm going to give you a very thorough explanation of what is meant by the term scale degree. So to start, I'm going to play a C major scale. Now, as you can see, and you should probably know, the key of C major, a C major scale, has no sharps or flats, no black notes, all white notes. And there are 7 distinct notes that make up a C major scale. And those notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. 7 distinct notes. If we continue going up the scale, of course, the next note we're going to hit is C. And that's the same as that first note that we played. So the notes just continue to repeat as we go up the scale. So what does a scale degree refer to, or what is a scale degree? A scale degree just refers to each one of those 7 notes based on their order within that scale. So if we think of the scale going from low to high, meaning I'm ascending up the keyboard, ascending because, as you can hear, as I play up the keyboard, the pitches are getting higher. So we're ascending up the keyboard, the notes are getting higher in pitch. Sort of like reading left to right, going from left to right, from the low end to the high end of the keyboard. We see that C is the first note, so that's called the first scale degree. We have another name for C, we call it the root as well. So if we're in the key of C major, that note of C is referred to as the first scale degree and also as the root. So those two terms are interchangeable. Continuing in order, we get to D. That makes D the second scale degree. E is the third scale degree. F is the fourth scale degree. G is the fifth scale degree. A is the sixth scale degree. And B is the 7th scale degree. If we continue to go up, we don't really call this the 8th scale degree. We call it the 1, or the root all over again, right? The first scale degree. And this is going to go on as we go up the keyboard. So for example, first scale degree, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then it repeats. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and so on and so on. Really doesn't have any correlation to what direction we're going. Meaning if I'm going down the keyboard and starting at C, those scale degrees keep their names, right? So now I'm playing the root, or the first scale degree, the 7th, the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st, okay? So the term scale degree really just refers to a note within that scale and its specific order of appearance, if we were to play that scale in order. So if somebody said to you, hey, you're in the key of C major, what is the 6th scale degree in the key of C major? You would say A. A is the 6th scale degree in the key of C major. If we want to check that, of course, we simply start at C. We need to know our key signatures, and we're going to count up to the 6th note of that C major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If somebody said, hey, you're in the key of C major, what is the 3rd scale degree? Well, we're going to count up to the 3rd degree of the scale. Starting on C, that's the first, or the root. We're going to play 1, 2, 3. So the answer would be E is the 3rd scale degree of C major. Now we do a lot of these examples in the key of C. It's sort of a familiar key. So let's try to pick another key, a little less familiar. Let's take the key of E major. So the key of E major has 4 sharps, and they are F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Okay, 4 sharps. But the same idea holds true. This idea of scale degrees, it's going to work on any scale. It doesn't really matter if it's a major scale or a minor scale or what key you're in. So as we play through our E major scale, again, we only have 7 distinct notes, 7 distinct pitches, and they are E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and D sharp. Those are the 7 distinct notes that make up the key of E major. And so we're going to give them a name based on the order in which they are played if we play ascending up the keyboard. First note we'd play, starting on an E major scale, would be E. So we call E the first scale degree or the root. Second scale degree is F sharp. The 3rd scale degree in the key of E major would be G sharp. 4th scale degree, A. 5th scale degree, B. 6th scale degree, C sharp. 7th scale degree, D sharp, and then we're back to the 1st scale degree or the root again, okay? So let's try a couple more examples just quickly. If you're in the key of E major and someone said to you, hey, what is the 4th scale degree in the key of E major? You would say A. And in order to check that, you'd start on E. You'd need to know your key signature, of course. You need to know the notes that make up an E major scale. And you would simply play them in order. 1st scale degree, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. A is the 4th scale degree. How about the 7th scale degree in the key of E major? Same logic applies. We're going to start on E, right? And we're going to count up to the 7th note of the scale, the 7th scale degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 7th scale degree in the key of E major is D sharp. So what should you do next? Well, again, you really want to make sure that you know your major and maybe even your minor key signatures at this point. And then just go through and quiz yourself. And remember that it doesn't matter what key you're in, it doesn't matter what direction you play the scale in. Those scale degrees refer to the order of appearance of those notes in the scale. So if we took an F major scale, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, back to the 1st, or the root.